Let's get to the Lions because, look, it's been a busy week with the other teams. And we're 2 weeks from camp where rookies report. And the Lions have been one of these teams where two things have been true. They're the it team or one of the it teams in the league regarding hype and sizzle. And you know I'm on board. I believe they're winning this division. We are winning a home playoff game. I will speak it into existence. But the other thing that's been true is the Lions seemingly have been connected to players all offseason long. Now, I'm not just talking about mom's basement articles. I'm talking about reports.
I just keep going.
Right. So, but did you see the zip of the pass? So the point I'm making is, excuse me. I mean, this man is out of control. You have been connected to the following players. And I think we all feel like, look, the Lions have cap space. And while they are going to win this division and they are going to win a home playoff game, I don't think anybody'd be against a move. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the names. And all I ask of you, the listeners, and Rico and Kenny, is the following. Consider on some level cost. Cost of acquisition, whether they're a free agent or you need to trade for them, the role they will play, and culture fit. You control how you view your team. I have a viewpoint on them. Again, they're going to win the division. They're going to win a home playoff game. But I have certain parts of this team that I think could use enhancement, insurance, depth, whatever you call it. So let me give you the names. And Gator talked a little bit about one of them. But you have been connected to this player all offseason. He is a free agent. He is expensive. He is, in my world, over the hill, but I'll stay out of it. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. You have been connected all offseason to a player you might have to trade for. A guy who was not given a fifth-year option by his team. They spent the money elsewhere. When he's right, he's dominant. The problem is he's been hurt a lot. Former number 2 overall pick, Chase Young. You have been connected all offseason to a pass rush specialist who is allergic to playing the run. He's a free agent. He'd be cheap. And frankly, has no problem moving zip codes because he plays for a new team every year.
Seems like every other week.
Right. He's a blockbuster plastic video case. He's passed around quite a bit. Yannick Ngakoue. You have been connected to a potentially soon-to-be-released player who, even if you traded for him, would be low draft capital. Slot machine, gritty, gutty, smart kid. Role has been reduced because of regime change. I give you Las Vegas Raider, Hunter Renfrow. The other player you've heard whispered is Rico's age. Strictly a depth piece. Accomplished player.
Throw the flag.
But he is far closer to the end than the beginning. I give you Melvin Ingram. Some of these guys are expensive. Some are cheap. Some are free agents. Some require a trade. My question is, who of that list, if you have to pick one with a couple weeks to camp, who are you picking? 248-539-9797. Now, I have an answer, but I'm gonna wait. I don't want to poison the jury. I'm an influential man. I don't want to influence the people. Rico has the best hat in the room, so he gets to go first. Of the 5, couple wide receivers, couple D linemen, different age ranges. Rico, when I read you the list, Chase Young, DeAndre Hopkins, Yannick Ngakoue, Hunter Renfrow, Melvin Ingram. Did any of those jump out at you, or is this a struggle to pick one?
No, there was one that jumped out at me, Mike, and it's because this team, I think, is in their window. The window is not next year. They're there now. Take a chance on Chase Young. You could, if he ends up bombing, you could still absorb him because you still have a lot of young players. But if he goes back to being the Chase Young that you thought, to pair him with Aiden Hutchinson, with Houston, to all the other defensive, because you really didn't address the defensive line, this is a gamble. This is a team that's in a division that even if you screw this up, you could possibly still win a division. You're in this window. Take advantage of it. Take a chance on a guy like Chase Young. He can help you out immediately, especially if he's healthy. Probably going to cost a trade, but I would do it.
All right, Rico's going bold. He wants to make a deal, give up a couple day 2, day 3 picks, lay out a big contract, and get a bookend for Aiden. Can't make fun of it. It's expensive. It's risky. Your doctor's got to trust the knee. Okay.
Right, because
Kenny,
just winning the division can't be good enough.
well, no, that's already in the bag. Kenny, go ahead. Of the list, Chase Young, DeAndre Hopkins, Yannick Ngakoue, Hunter Renfrow, Melvin Ingram. Considering cost of acquisition, role, and where you believe they need help.
I'm reaching into the DVD bin and going with Yannick Ngakoue, primarily because he's cheap. He provides that pass rush. I'm not exactly as worried about the run stopping as much as I am supporting the secondary that I just built this offseason. You can do that with a pass rusher. Their jobs get way easier.
Yep.
Hutch's job gets way easier.
And again,
you're paying him cinnamon sticks.
This is an interesting pick by Kenny because it's a player you can get pretty cheap. He has always been consistent that I believe every year in the league he's at least 7.5 sacks. It would give you the rotation at defensive end edge we're looking for. He doesn't play the run, so there's no issues about ever needing him on first or second down. He comes in with a defined role. Get the quarterback. That's it. Don't need you 50 snaps a week. Probably don't need 40. May not even need 30. 25 snaps a week. And especially when we're closing the game out, go get the quarterback. All right?
And for cheap, you've helped out your secondary in a big way.
No, I mean, I like that, Kenny. I'm a little hesitant because stopping the run was one of their biggest problems. You didn't address that.
Let me give you my selection. It might surprise you. It's actually Hunter Renfrow. And I'll tell you why. No, I'm being serious.
No. In my mind, all I hear is Jim Costa and the value.
No, it's not that. It's more culture fit. This is a guy that was a walk-on who turned himself into a great football player at Clemson. This is a kid who is a brainiac, knows playbooks, knows how to be a pro. What if we had a bit of an issue with J-Mo? Amon-Ra is a dog, but he's a red ass. He works, right? You bring Hunter Renfrow in here. I have 2 guys you can't play man against. Slot machines. What this would do, too, is allow for a little bit more pre-snap motion, allow for more manipulation of the defense. And I know we need a perimeter receiver. Well, J-Mo's going to play week 7. J-Mo's going to be that outside presence. Reynolds will be that outside presence. I don't want to get – like the DeAndre Hopkins thing, I don't think what people realize is even if the things I've been told aren't true, which is a fantasy, they are true. The point is, let's say they're fake. You're blocking a potential star that you use the number 12 pick on. DeAndre Hopkins would come here and have a demand. Not only the cost, not only the years, a demand, Rico, to be the 1 or 1A target share guy. Well, I don't need that. Amon-Ra is going to be number 1 in targets. J-Mo, the perimeter is going to be available to you if and when you come back and hit the ground running. Hunter Renfrow gives me insurance. It gives me a diverse approach. And if I put guys in motion, I use multiple slot receivers. Rico, you know what I like? Giving Jared Goff nice 7 to 10 yard throws. I know it's not sexy. But for a 6th-round pick or once he gets cut, I'd bring him here because I think he is a lion. I think he is what they want, a pro.
See, I like the idea, Mike. I'm more of a little old school. I'm going defense. I'm looking at the division, and I'm looking at you got Fields, young quarterback. You got Love, who, let's face it, is a rookie quarterback. He's been around for a while, but this is kind of his rookie year. So you got 2 inexperienced quarterbacks. If you could bring in Chase Young and pair him up with the defensive people that you have and bring pressure, half the division you can kind of knock out and just make it that 2-horse race.
I think there's only one guy on here that's a wrong answer.
Hopkins?
That's the wrong answer.
And that's probably the one that a lot of people want because it's the name.
Right, but it also, I'm spelling it out.
If I had to go in order, Renfrow was my second guy, but I just see an opportunity. If you're the Lions, go for it all.
Okay.
Just go for it. Don't halfway do this thing, because once you get into the playoffs, who knows what happens. But you got an opportunity to maybe cash in on Chase Young. Aiden has a play partner. Go for it.
So look, I know it's a little weird. It's not a this or that thing. I understand 5 names. I get it. But when you hear us talk about it, as a Lions fan, don't you think they need to make one more move pre-camp? And these are the players that in the course of the last 4 months, you continue to see your name tied to. Chase Young, DeAndre Hopkins, Yannick Ngakoue, Hunter Renfrow, Melvin Ingram. Who do you want? Let's hear. I only think there's one wrong answer, and I was busting Gator's chops earlier. I go, you better stop with that D-Hop nonsense. I don't think it makes any sense for where this team is at with Amon-Ra as their number 1. They have drafted J-Mo, who will be here in week 7. So you're telling me, adding DeAndre Hopkins, I have now downgraded Amon-Ra. I've downgraded J-Mo. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to make D-Hop happy because we're never going to throw the ball enough for him to be pumped up.
No, not in this offense, but when you went out and got Jahmyr Gibbs,
right,
which
and
tells me.
Yes. And Laporta.
Right.
He's so expensive. So to me, that's the only wrong answer. 248-539-9797. You tell me which of this list, the connectivity list. It ain't me attaching you to these players. It's reports. Which one do you want considering the role, the fit, and the cost? 248-539-9797. Kenny, you want to give me a few ticket texts and we'll line up some callers?
Chase Young, hard no on Hopkins. That's from Tim in Brighton.
All right, we got another vote for Rico.
It's got to be Hopkins. We already have a slot receiver with St. Brown. I think we can get the best out of Hopkins. Our offense.
Can I ask one question?
To a new level. Yes.
Like, guys, and I'm not going to be mean. It's a Floral Friday. We're all dressed like idiots. Because you are aware in today's NFL, you can run multiple slot receivers. You can run bunch. You can run pre-snap motion. Right. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, all jokes aside, but watching Rico's team, the pre-snap motion, changing players' positions to when the ball is actually snapped. Guys, it's different when I say I don't want to block Jamison Williams. J-Mo is going to be a perimeter guy and a guy I need to give targets to. My point is, if I have a Hunter Renfrow, this is a guy I don't need to play every down. It's a guy who's insurance for Amon-Ra's role because every year Amon-Ra gets banged up. True or false?
True.
So I've got insurance on that role. And within Ben Johnson's offense, don't you feel like the slot is a really important thing?
I mean, it is. I mean, how many times when they got rid of Hockenson and they just threw to name the tight end, he was wide open in the slot.
Right. I get it. But, man, the idea, I can't have 2 slot receivers or I can't. How about a guy who comes in, shuts up, and does his job?
No, Mike, because slot receiver is not sexy. I told you, this town wants a star.
I know, but sexy is points.
Hunter Renfrow, yeah, you're not running down there buying the jersey, sitting there saying, yay.
No, but he's a Lion.
But D-Hop, oh, my, he's got a nickname. Oh, you're ready for it.
He's a guy that was basically invited to not participate the last 3 weeks of last season. Do you understand that?
These are facts.
248-539-9797. We will get your calls. We'll get some ticket texts. Got a little blitz later in the hour. Still got to talk Pistons. Still got to talk Tigers. Still have some Michigan football issues to handle. And who said it on a Friday. Lots to do. 97.1